There we go. Good evening and welcome to our Easy Fundraising webinar. You are very welcome. We're going to do a session today for you on how to make easy fundraising work for your church during the busy Christmas period. So thank you for coming along. I can see that we have some people arriving. You're welcome to sit and enjoy the session. The session is being recorded and we will send a recording out to you tomorrow, so don't feel that that you must and you don't need to take any notes or remember anything. We will send everything out for you afterwards. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce Paul Bailey, who is here this evening as well to support us. So Paul, would you like to say hello?
Hello everybody. Many of you will recognise me from the diocese, so I'm the Diocesan Giving Advisor, and a very warm welcome to you all.
Thank you, Paul, and we do have to say a big thank you to Paul for facilitating these sessions for us. It's super to be able to speak to you and share sort of hints and tips on how to make easy fundraising work for you. So without further ado, I'm going to crack on and hopefully my slides are going to move along for us. Without too much of a technical hitch, or maybe, there we are. So the session that we're going to do today is going to cover off what easy fundraising is, how it works. I am fairly confident most of you will know this now, so we won't labour the point, but it's just to cover off in case anybody happens to be watching, or in case you share it with somebody who happens to be watching and they're not sure what it's all about. But then we are going to get into how Manchester churches are doing, because they have really taken to easy fundraising. It's having a really big impact on their fundraising, and so we're going to share a bit of good news there for you. I'm going to do a couple of demonstrations. I'm going to demonstrate how you actually raise donations, but I'm also going to demonstrate where all of the tools are that you're going to need in the next couple of weeks as things start to get really busy. And we're going to point out some other resources. We're very lucky that Paul shares some fantastic resources elsewhere, so I'm going to highlight those for you. And also I just want to touch on where there are, every now and then you can make some really good donations by using some other types of retailers, and we'll touch on that right at the end. So a little bit about easy fundraising. We are a free online shopping platform, 100% free, will never cost you anything to raise donations through your online shopping. With our Diocese of Manchester churches, you also have the option of choosing a donate button if you use easy fundraising, and that means that you can actually go out to your congregation, your parishioners, your community, and they can actually make donations to you as well. Now that service is free from easy fundraising, but there is a card fee, a small card fee of I think it's 1.7% plus 20 pence. I might have that slightly wrong. I'll confirm it in my email to you tomorrow for each transaction. So it's very competitive, and there is no platform fee to use that direct donation feature. Your church gets donations when they shop online, and it is a very easy way to raise funds. It's very safe, totally reliable. You can raise funds from your armchair, which is nice in these COVID times when people are being super cautious. We've been going since 2007, and in that time we've raised over £35 million for our good causes. Of that, £1.9 million was raised by churches. So churches use easy fundraising, they use it really well, really fits in with their fundraising strategies. I'm just going to quickly check this chat here, bear with me one sec. Oh, thanks so much, Paul. As I was rightly pointed out, it's 1.4% plus 20 pence. Thanks so much, Paul. I was doing this there. It's a little bit less. So it is a very, very useful fundraiser to have in place. It costs you absolutely nothing to implement it, and what we need you to do is be able to have all the things you need to share it with your congregation, because it is a fundraiser that works with your community. So that's what we're going to do for you today. So how it works, you need to register as a good cause with easy fundraising, which you probably already have done, but just in case you haven't, you register your church first. You'll then ask all of your supporters to support you, so to actually give their details to register to support your church. As a supporter, the only information a supporter needs to give is their name and their email address. That's all the information we need, which is quite unique really in a fundraising scenario. So we don't need any, you don't need their address or any of their bank details or anything like that. They're just, all Easy Fundraising ever do is track their purchase. They don't need any of the details. And then once you've shared that and they start doing their shopping, as long as they do it via Easy Fundraising, the retailer gives a donation back to the church as a thank you really for shopping with them. And it is as simple as that, pretty straightforward. Online shopping is, of course, on the rise, as we know, and has been every year since Easy Fundraising's been in existence. It has grown, and naturally there's growth in this area. But of course, with the pandemic and with the restrictions that everybody was under during that time, it grew even more. And so people were forced to shop online. And now, because people are used to shopping online, they're actually more comfortable doing it. So we're seeing that growth continue. Also, retailers are very well set up now with their online offer. They're very efficient with that. So they are also more in a good position to deliver online shopping to their customers. So it's a massive area of growth. And it's something that we want to make sure that you are able to utilise to your benefit. 87% of households in 2020 bought something online, and that will go up this year in 2021. They're predicting a bumper Christmas. They're predicting Christmas coming a little early this year because there's some concerns about supply and that sort of thing. People are excited to get started, also keen not to be caught because they're not able to get something that they want. And yeah, predictions are £1.6 million in donations to be raised over the next few months with Easy Fundraising causes. I'm going to make sure that a lot of that is going to our Diocese of Manchester churches. So, quick question. You don't have to answer it. It is just to have in your mind, is when was the last time you bought something online? And this is just to sort of think about the sort of things that you buy online. So for me, I actually did buy a Christmas bauble. I sometimes run these sessions for different customers, and for a while there, the last thing I bought was a takeaway from Just Eat. And I was, I really was, I must buy something else so that I've got something a little bit more worthy as my last online purchase, because the takeaway on Friday wasn't quite the purchase I wanted to be sharing with everybody. But the family were very pleased with their takeaway, and you can get donations on those sort of things. So I suppose it's a good thing to highlight. But I did recently buy a little Christmas bauble as a gift for a friend from Etsy. And so I got a donation for that, which I was delighted about. So it's worth thinking about what, have you bought something recently? Are you planning on buying something online? Do you know, and had you planned to do that via Easy Fundraising? Had you thought, oh, this would be a donation in this purchase as well for the church? And that's what we need people to start realising, that there are over 6,000 retailers on Easy Fundraising. Almost everything you could possibly want to buy, you'll be able to get a donation at the same time. And so this is just a sort of little glimpse of some of those retailers. It's by no means all, but you can see the sort of the big popular retailers that expect, so Amazon, eBay, Argos, Viking, those sort of retailers that everybody uses all the time. Some of the nicer ones, Bloom and Wild, maybe you're sending flowers, or Moonpig. Both of those retailers, Bloom and Wild, which are florist, Moonpig, which are the card company, online card company, they're exclusively online. You have to shop with them online, and so you may as well get a donation at the same time. Of course, groceries, Waitrose, Sainsbury's, Iceland are another one. Wiltshire Farm Foods, the food delivery people, HelloFresh are another one like that. And of course, Eden and those sort of more specific retailers, they're also there. So they're all there waiting to give donations to good causes. They want to give back to their communities. And so Easy Fundraising helps people to do that. So I'm going to seamlessly move over to the live site and show you how you actually buy something. to demonstrate how quick and easy it is, but also because we know it is much, much easier for you to talk about easy fundraising if you know how to use it yourself. So we would highly recommend that you have a go if you haven't already. Next thing that you're going to buy online, just think, right, I'm going to do it via easy fundraising and see what happens, because it is much, much easier to speak about something like this when you're comfortable with it yourself. So hopefully I'm going to glance at Paul for a little thumbs up, and he's giving me a thumbs up. Thank you, Paul. I was logged out there, just going to log back in quickly. There we are. This is my page. This is my easy fundraising page. You can see just down the bottom here, I raise for local Rainbows and Brownies group called 227th Holy Name and 158th Calshot. Does not roll off the tongue. We're actually combined because of COVID. So Holy Name are homeless because our parish centre has been used as a vaccine venue, so that's where the vaccinations are taking place. And so the Brownies are with one group and the Rainbows are with another, and we're just making it work here in Birmingham at the moment with our guiding. But that's who I raise my donations for. So everything that I shop for online, I get a donation, and it goes towards helping these Rainbows and Brownies and making the experience that their girls have even better. And so as a supporter, you would see the cause that you support there. So if that's the church, then you would see, so in Paul's example, he would see St Michael's Flixton there, and all of the donations that he raises would be going to that cause. And to buy something, you simply click in this retailer box here, search for a retailer, search for the retailer that you want to buy something for. Let's use Eden, they're a good example. We'll click on the search there. This page is the information page, going to tell you a little bit about what donations are available with Eden, and also if there's any reason why you wouldn't get a donation. You're going to find all that information on this page here. So you can see they're offering 5% donation there. Which is great, that's a really good rate. Some retailers will have a different rate if you're a new customer or if you're buying a particular item. All of that will be here if that's the case. And if there's any reason why you wouldn't get a donation, this terms and conditions box should have that info for you too. So Eden won't give you a donation if you are already going to use a voucher or have a discount code. So you do find usually you get one or the other. But in this case, let's assume we don't have either of those things and we're going to shop and make a purchase. We simply click shop now and it will open Eden's website for us. And there we have it. Once you're here, you shop as you would have done had you just typed in eden.co.uk up there at the top, or had you searched for Eden in a Google or in a search engine search bar. Doesn't matter, as long as you've got there via easy fundraising. Anything you buy in this session now, the retailer will give a donation back to the church. And they don't tell us what you bought or any of your personal information. All of that stays secure within their website. Or the only thing that is shared back is the value of the transaction so that the donation can be calculated. So it's a super safe way of actually raising money. And it costs nobody a penny, not a penny extra will you pay if you use easy fundraising. If you're happy and you've finished, you just simply exit that and you're back on the easy fundraising site. You can use the logo to navigate back to the main page if ever you get lost on the site, because I'm going to bring you back here a little while later and show you where all of the resources are. But that easy fundraising logo will always take you back to the beginning. And one of the way you can shop on the website is by using the categories, which is dropping down there for me. So if you don't know the retailer that you want to buy from, but you've got an idea of the sort of thing you want to buy, the categories might be a better place for you. So let's have a little look, and I'm going to have a little look at holiday packages, because why not? We can go on holiday now, and here you'll see all the different retailers that are on easy fundraising that will give you a donation if you book your holiday with them. And so the big names are there: Chewy, Thomas Cook, First Choice, cottages.com. All of those are already there. So if you're going to book a holiday, you can just click on there, go through, book your holiday, get your donation. And so that's feel good shopping, isn't it? So you're getting a lovely break and also a big donation for your church. So that is shopping on the website. That's how you actually buy something if you are going to use the website. That's not the only way that you can raise donations with Easy Fundraising. I'm just going to pop back to our presentation, and hopefully you can see the demo slide again. Paul's nodding. The other ways are designed completely to make it really, really easy for people to use, and also to help them with forgetting, because that's what people do. They forget. It's very, very easy. If it's not something that you're used to doing, once you've done it a few times, it becomes quite addictive, and actually it's a habit that forms, and then you're away. But we have these tools to help people too. So the website is one way, and the next way is our app. So we have a free app for our phones and for tablets. So if you've got an iPad or some sort of tablet that you like to do your shopping on, and we know lots and lots of people use these sort of items to shop, you can use our app. So our app is free, of course, and it has some absolutely super features, new features actually. So if you are a seasoned Easy Fundraising user, it might be worth a revisit of the app. So one of the latest features is that there's now a favourites option. So you can favourite retailers that you use a lot, which means it's just one click out. So if perhaps you regularly shop with John Lewis, you can simply make John Lewis a favourite. It's just star it on the app, and then you open your Easy Fundraising app, click the E. John Lewis will be on the front screen, click the logo for John Lewis, and then you're in John Lewis's website, and then anything that you buy will get a donation. So that's a super easy way of using it. Our fundraising team, they have a little tip that they always say: keep the Easy Fundraising app logo on your front screen of your tablet or of your phone, and then it's that acts as a little reminder as well if you're going to buy something. The other feature that the app has is a new activity feed. You're actually able to manage your cause account much better now in the app than you could ever do before. Previously you had to go to the website, and there were we've got some comms, some sort of communication tools on the website that you can use that we've spoken about in a previous session. But this has an activity feed where you can just type in a message. It would have to be a relatively vague message, as in thank you very much everybody for using Easy Fundraising, this is what we've raised so far, or this is what we're putting the funds towards this time, or please use the app when you're doing your shopping, whatever it might be. And because it will go out to everybody, it will go out to them on the app if they've got it, and then they'll get a little notification that they got a thank you from you guys, or that they got a little nudge to use the app, please, during the busy Christmas period, Black Friday's coming, etc. So there's lots of features. It's well worth looking at the app, and you can do a lot more now as an admin, as the person who's looking after your church, using our app. So we would highly recommend that. And we would also recommend that you, when you're talking to people, you tell them about the app, because we also find that language of actually saying to somebody, oh, you can just download their app, it's free. It's in the app store on your phone. That's a really easy way for people to just get started quite quickly. And again, it's all about convenience for them. It's all about things being easily accessible and not taking up a lot of time and effort for them. So talking about the app is a really handy way of getting people on board. And then the other tool that we have is what we call our donation reminder, which is a little widget that sits on our desktop computers and laptop computers. You download it from the site, and we show you where to do that when you join, and we give you little ways to do it if you haven't done it right at the beginning. And simply, if you are just Googling an item, so if you're just Googling John Lewis, for instance, it will pop up that there is a donation available for that retailer, and you can just click, yes, please, I'd like the donation, or you can dismiss it if you're just browsing that day. Perhaps you're not actually going to buy, you're just price checking things or what have you, and you can just dismiss it and it will go away until the next time for you. We know that our supporters, I think it's as high as something along the lines of 77% of our donations that our supporters raise for their good causes come from one of these tools. They come from the donation reminder or the app. because it is just such an easy way to generate donations. Definitely the donation reminder, you almost accidentally are bringing funds in, because you don't even have to, you don't have to do anything at all except what you were already going to do. The donation reminder will pop up. And so also it means that every single one of those 6,000 retailers, it will pop up. So you're not expected to know them all. And even now, I'm still surprised by some retailers that I find on Easy Fundraising. I can't believe they're there, and retailers are being added all the time. So those 3 tools are a really key part of your sort of toolkit when you're talking to people, to let them know that it's super easy to use. They just need to get these tools out, and then they can just forget about it again. They can just carry on as they were normally, but they are going to be raising donations for you whilst they're doing something they were doing already. So have we got any questions? Let me just quickly check. Paul, any questions at all? I think we're okay.
No, I'm actually ordering some dog food via Easy Fundraising. As you're talking, there you go.
I mean, it's a very good story. It's a genuine story, everybody, is that when Paul and I were discussing our session and planning for this evening, Paul did tell me that he buys his dog food off from Easy Fundraising, and I don't do that, and I buy a lot of dog food. And so I learned something there from Paul. So I absolutely will be ordering my dog food online from now on. It's such a great idea. And it is that kind of thing. It's sharing those stories and sharing those experiences that sort of bring that light bulb moment. And I've been with Easy Fundraising for 6 years now. I should have known that, actually. This is a bit bad, really. But we're always learning.
I got I got a 43p donation last time I ordered 2 bags of dog food. So there you go.
How brilliant is that? And you were going to buy them anyway.
Absolutely.
And if everybody does it, this is the thing, then that really builds up, and it's free. It's completely free. Somebody in that transaction, somebody who's getting that donation, whether that be Google or an influencer, or somebody who's actually sort of recommending something, the retailer is giving them some sort of thank you for the customer being referred to their site, and that may as well be your church. That money is there to be had. It may as well go to churches. So what we also wanted to do today was sort of highlight some of our successes, really. So we've been working together for a few years now. Churches in Manchester have used Easy Fundraising even prior to that, but we have worked together quite closely recently. And so you can see some real successes. And so we wanted to include those this evening and just give a shout out to some of our top performers, if you like. Paul's church is there, St Michael's, who've done very, very well. You'll see that some of these churches have got the donate feature, and so they've used that. So the appeals at the top there were specific appeals that happened in lockdown, and they really pushed the donate button to facilitate those, and so that worked really well for them. That was super. And then you can see a happy mix there of the rest of the churches who are combining one or other. Some don't have, so St Nicholas at the bottom don't have the donate button at all. They don't want to use it, but they are using Easy Fundraising to raise free donations using shopping. And of course, that is really where there's going to be loads of free donations in the coming months. So we just wanted to show you what's possible. I mean, that's a really good mix there. Free funds, these people wouldn't have had, certainly the shopping donations, they wouldn't have had those if it hadn't been for registering with Easy Fundraising, sharing with their supporters, and their supporters getting on board and saying, yeah, we're going to give it a go. So you'll be able to look at that properly when I send out the slides, so don't worry about that. So this is the bit, we have to get people on board. It is about letting people know that this is a way that they can support you, and what tools are there, what have Easy Fundraising got for you, and what has the Diocese of Manchester got for you to be able to help you do that. And you'll be pleased to know there's quite a bit. So we're going to touch on in a moment. I'll go back to the site and I'm going to show you where there's some promotional tools. There's lots of how-to videos, and we also have a coaching facility. So we have a team in the office who they want to speak to causes all day, every day. They do about a 20-minute session with you on the phone. bespoke totally to you. What do you need? Let me show you where you'll find everything, and how to get the very best out of easy fundraising. So we highly recommend you take a coaching call. If you've had one before, you can refresh if you feel you need it. If you haven't had one, you don't have to be new. Just book in. There'll be a link. I'll send a link out when I send out the email, and I might get Paul to share the link for us. There's a link to a calendar, so you choose when it suits you, when's convenient for you. You could do it over a lunchtime with a cup of coffee if you wanted to, in an evening if that suits you better. But yeah, so the team are ready and waiting to take your call, and they know their stuff. They are experts in their field, certainly. So let me pop back to the site so that I can show you over the next few months where you're going to find the information you need and the tools you need to actually start talking about easy fundraising with your congregations. Thanks, Paul. The first thing I want to say to you, I've probably said it in previous sessions, so if you've heard it before, apologies, but I always like to make sure people know that this area of the site that I'm going to demonstrate now, which is this promote my cause area here, is available to absolutely everybody who supports your church. This doesn't have to sit with you. And often we find that the person who's registered the church and is sort of driving it is the admin, is often responsible for the financial aspect of the church, but not always. Sometimes this person does absolutely everything, which is often the case, isn't it? But sometimes there's somebody else within your community, somebody else, maybe your core team, who does bang the drum when it comes to fundraising. And so they could do this for you. They can access this area, they can access these tools, and they can go out and start talking about easy fundraising. And I'll show you what I mean. So I'm going to click on this promote my cause pink button here, and it will open up our fundraising toolkit area, where there are a number of tiles. There's a few ways to get around this area. So there's the tiles here, and then down the left hand side there's a different menu to enable you to be able to choose how you navigate this area. The get started tile is an excellent place to get started. So if you're new, there's a lot of introductory posts within that. I'll just click on it and open it so you can see. You can book your coaching call. There's a link there to the coaching. You can post introductory messages. So, oh, we've registered. Don't forget, there's a couple of sort of follow-on messages within this area. You could also find here tools to add it to your website if you've got a website and you want to add information about easy fundraising to that. Let me go back one. The other area I really want to show you here is this month's messages, because this is a good place to go to on a regular basis, because not yet we haven't got our Black Friday tools ready just yet, or our sort of Christmas shopping tools. We are holding fire until half term, but they will be available in this area. So in this area at the moment, we're talking about what is on site at the moment, which is there's a household bills giveaway, and there is our fundraising heroes stories feature that's going on at the moment, as well as a couple of other bits and pieces. But what is absolutely, of course, what we know is coming is Christmas is coming, Black Friday is coming, and there are going to be some fabulous campaigns that are designed to help you, help your church. So I'm going to talk about them now, but it's here, it's this area that you're going to find them. So the first thing that's going to happen is in November, we will have a Spin to Win campaign running for the entire month of November. It's just a fun campaign. It's to get people to come to the site, to get familiar with the site, but every day they can spin to win, as you'd expect, and they can win prizes. So that can be donations, it can be another go, it can be an entry into another draw. There's all different prizes. The prizes go up to up to £50,000 will be given away in November on that Spin to Win campaign. So there are lots and lots of opportunity to raise free donations in that. If all of your supporters spin to win every day, you're going to get lots and lots of free donations and lots of free goes, and maybe the big prize. It was in last year, our Christmas Day prize draw, which I'll come to in a moment, was a church that won it. It was a church in Hereford that won the big prize. It was a £5,000 prize, I think. So it does happen, you know, good causes win these big prizes. So in this area, you're going to find tools to talk to your congregation about spin to win, tools to talk to them about Black Friday, and tools to talk to them about Christmas shopping. Now, those tools are going to be a variety of different things. We're going to have everything here so that you can choose what is the best way to talk to your congregation, to talk to your fellow clergy, to go out into the community perhaps and tell people there. And one of those things that will be there will be posters and flyers. So to demonstrate those, I'm just going to come to this menu on the left-hand side. And if you can see, there's a by channel section, and posters and flyers are here. So at the moment, these posters and flyers are fairly generic. They're just raise free funds for us using Easy Fundraising, and they're sort of all year round evergreen content. But in that fundraising this month's messages, you'll have flyers and posters and handout cards, it themed to the items that we're talking about. So it will be Black Friday, for instance, or Christmas, or spin to win. And you can pop those posters up anywhere. We apparently behind toilet doors is I don't know if it's the most hygienic spot in the world, but it's apparently a very good place to place posters in communal areas, in foyers. Flyers could go anywhere. They could go just in reception areas, perhaps, if you've got somewhere like that. The handout cards, they print 10 to an A4 sheet. So if you have the goodwill of some soul to actually cut them out, they become sort of credit card sized. They're very useful. You can pop those with a biscuit with the teas and coffees at coffee mornings. You can pop them in cards if you're sending any kind of Christmas cards out. They're very small. You could scatter them on seats in the church because they're quite an affordable way of sort of scattering information, and then mention it in your service to say, you'll find information about Easy Fundraising. It is a way that you can raise donations for us 100% for free. Just do what you were going to do anyway, but in doing so, you're going to do an extra little bit of good for the church by using Easy Fundraising. So those tools will all be here for you. There'll also be other content. So posters and flyers, those sort of physical content is definitely back. We know people are gathered together again and they want that physical content. So that will be there for you. But also you will have posts for wherever it is that you communicate. So we know lots of people have Facebook groups. That's how they communicate. So just by clicking on the channel there, it will bring up Facebook posts for you. And when those resources are available, there'll be Facebook posts there for you. Of course, Twitter, all of the social media sites, basically. If you've got a WhatsApp group, we are reliably informed by our marketing team that WhatsApp is a super way of talking to people about this sort of thing, because they will open the message. They always open their WhatsApp message. So you may, again, like I say, maybe you've got a core team who work together for the good of the church, and you could just share it out to those in a WhatsApp message to allow them to then go out to others and say, this is something that we're doing for our fundraising this Christmas. It's going to make a big difference for us. Please get on board. You can add it to the website, as I mentioned before. But the other thing is newsletter and email content. So if I just click on this heading here, it's going to open up ready written copy again. And this copy already has your link in. If you can just see there, actually, that's my link. And this would automatically populate to yours. It's all ready to go. You don't need to do anything to it. You could tweak it if you wanted to, of course, and make it more personal if you wanted to, but it's just as good to just copy and paste it, pop it in the newsletter. You know it's going out. You've done everything that you wanted to do to promote easy fundraising, and you're on to the next important thing that you've got to be doing. You don't have to spend a lot of time here, but the things that are here for you should work. They should work really well for you. And there's lots of other things. So you could talk about the app specifically if you wanted to. That is down here. You could talk about the donation reminder if you wanted to. That is down here. And also business purchases, which I'm going to touch on in a moment when we're talking about where those bigger donations are. So this area is worth having a little look around. There are lots and lots of, there will be lots and lots of different, I'm going to just pop back here so that I can show you the tiles again. There will be lots and lots of new tiles in this area in this month's messages and around this area here where you can just click on and access the tools and share what suits you, what you think's going to resonate with your parishioners and with the people who are there looking to support you. So that is our fundraising toolkit. I'm going to pop back to our slides seamlessly. I've managed so far not to share my shopping list, but it could still happen. And we will just touch on this as well. So as I mentioned at the top of the session, we're really lucky to work so closely with Paul and the Diocese of Manchester, and Paul has some fabulous resources available on the Gift Aid Light YouTube channel, which the details are there, so you can click on and go to that. There's lots of other information there. It's not solely easy fundraising, but there's more tools there about how you get a donate button, how you add that on, how you add easy fundraising to your website. What other things are on there, Paul, that you would highlight?
There's your, although it doesn't highlight any churches from Manchester, there's that little video about churches who successfully used easy fundraising in video form. Yes. And yeah, the key bit is particularly for those churches who are going to be using the donate button as to how they can easily add that to their website, and also their Church Near You page as well. They can add a donate button to that too.
Wonderful, thank you. And that information that's there is really comprehensive. It's really useful. So if that's something that you think will work for your church, absolutely get it on. It is, as mentioned, it's very competitive. There's no platform fee at all for easy fundraising. So whatever you get, less the card fee, that goes towards what it is that your church needs. And on that, whatever it is you're raising for, that's great. You know, whatever it is you need, whether it's a leaky roof or a creaky boiler or accessibility, or just, you know, you want to support a youth group, or it's all valid. It's all perfectly reasonable stuff to be fundraising for, and so you can use easy fundraising to raise for that. So definitely check out the YouTube page. And just, we want to touch on just where some of those big donations are. Where easy fundraising is going to have a big impact for you is twofold. One, it's the time of year. So if you start sharing about easy fundraising now, you're going to resonate with people because they are going to be looking at buying things online now. More people are going to shop online. They don't want to go into busy town centres. They don't want to be queuing in the shop. They don't want to go to a shop and find that the thing that they wanted isn't there because it's out of stock or there's a problem with the supply chain. So lots and lots of people will be shopping online anyway. So they're doing it anyway. All you're asking is that they just add in this extra step. People who register as a supporter now and start shopping online, doing their Christmas shopping today, that's because they very quickly get into the habit of it. It's a very rewarding time to start because you get donations coming through pretty quickly. Your total tallies up pretty quickly, and so it's very rewarding. You think, oh, this really works. I'm getting a load of donations for the church. I was doing it anyway. It just adds a little bit extra to what you're doing. We've got a lovely campaign going out in this couple of weeks now around the tagline is "This means more," and it genuinely is about the fact that you're going to buy something anyway, but you can make that purchase so much more meaningful by doing it via easy fundraising, where there's going to be this extra good that comes from that purchase. So Auntie Mary's going to get her red jumper that she's asked for Christmas, but also the church is going to get a donation from Marks and Spencer's, who are providing that red jumper. So it's a very nice a way of doing your Christmas shopping and having this extra nice activity that comes off the back of it. Something to look out for. This Means More campaign. It will be coming to a social media site near you very soon. But there are occasions where we buy other things that have a big impact, and that's what I'm going to quickly touch on here for you, because I want you to have these things in your mind as well, because easy fundraising is not just for Christmas. It is an all year round fundraiser for you, and it will bring in revenue for you 12 months of the year. First thing to talk about is annual purchases. These are the sort of purchases that we have to do. You know, the sort of adult, we have to insure our homes and our cars, and we need sort of mobile phones these days, and those sort of purchases where the retailer really, really, really wants your business, because they're going to have your business, chances are, for a 12-month period, because you're probably going to go into some sort of contract with them with that type of purchase. So it's twofold, really. You can get a big donation by buying those sort of items through easy fundraising, because they won't be a percentage like a normal purchase. There'll be a flat rate. So you'll get £20 or £30 or £40 for doing what you were going to do anyway. Chances are online, you're probably going to do it online anyway, because most people do these purchases online now. But the other thing that's going to happen is, because you are checking out other retailers and you're not just accepting a renewal, you're probably going to get a much better deal, because you're going to be a new customer. And that's another thing that we know, you know, Martin Lewis tells us, you know, don't just accept your renewal. Businesses give better rates to new customers. You as the customer are in a much better position if you're coming to a company as a new customer. There's not much reward for renewals these days, not like it used to be. My example of this, just to give you an honest example, my car insurance was up for renewal this year. I only have a little small IGO, and the renewal came through, and I didn't actually deal with it very quickly, to the point that it nearly renewed and I hadn't dealt with it. So I had to very quickly start looking for a new insurer before the renewal went ahead. So a little frantically, I used confused.com on easy fundraising, because I didn't really have time to go looking at all the different insurers. I thought I'll just use Confused, see what quotes it gives me. And I got a £15 donation for the brownies by using Confused, but it also it halved my renewal. So my insurance was half the price it would have been had I let that renewal go ahead. So I saved money. I was able to give a decent donation to the brownies, and my car was insured. So I was very, very happy all round. It is a win-win in that scenario. And if you've got 5-10 people insuring a vehicle every year via easy fundraising for you, that's going to really boost the funds that you're receiving via easy fundraising. So insurance is a big one, and it's not just cars, mobile phones, all of the companies, Car Phone Warehouse, Vodafone, EE, they're all on easy fundraising. You can buy from all of those and get a donation at the same time. Pets need insuring. Whilst they need dog food, they also need insuring. Both of my dogs are insured with a retailer through easy fundraising. It's a slightly smaller donation with the dogs than the car, believe it or not. But nevertheless, it all builds up, and if everybody does it, as I said, everybody's insuring their cars, and they are likely insuring them online. So that's something to think about. There's tools in our toolkit to be able to talk about that to your congregation. We know there'll be tools in this month's messages, usually around March time. Apparently that's new car month, and that's a big month for car insurance. So we'll always put something in there that you can just pick out and share that month, because that's probably a good month to talk about insurances. Travel. People are going away now. They are booking to go away. We can see that travel was there was absolutely no donations being raised on travel at all during the pandemic. Of course, people were staying home and staying safe. But as it's gradually released, people have started to book holidays within the UK, and they're getting donations there. So Trainline, Home and Away, all of those, car hire, the big megabus, all of those retailers are giving donations, and so those UK-based holidays were raising donations for good causes. But also now we are definitely seeing people book for a travel abroad next year. It's not for everybody, of course, but it's just to let people know that if you are booking to go away on holiday, chances are it's a percentage. You might have noticed some of the rates at the when I showed you the holidays earlier in the session. But of course, the value is so much higher that, again, it is another way of really boosting donations. Every bit of the holiday can get you donations. So airport parking, currency, the flight, the hotel, the travel insurance, and all of the other bits and pieces that come with booking a holiday can get donations. So that's another one to talk about. And particularly if somebody says to you, oh, you know, I've had it, I'm booking a holiday, that's it, I need to go away. That's the time to say to them, oh, make sure you have a look at Easy Fundraising. That's a great way to boost our donations, and you're going to do it anyway. It won't cost them a penny more. And again, you know, 5-10 people booking their family holiday, that's a big boost in your donations. So that's a really good one to think about. And business buying. And again, you know, you've probably heard this before in a previous session, but it's worth just reiterating, just in case there's somebody within your congregation who owns their own business, or there's a business out there that are local to you, and you know that they are a supporter of the work that you do, and they champion the good that you bring to the community. They can be helping you by putting their business buying through Easy Fundraising. People who use Easy Fundraising for business buy every day. All you need to ask them to do is say, just pop the donation reminder on the computer of the person who does the buying, and they can be raising for us every time. A quick example, we have a supporter who works for a university, and he is responsible for all of the upkeep of the halls of residence where all the young students are living. So it's everything from light bulbs, bin bags, and all the rest of it. And he's buying things every day from Viking for the upkeep of those halls. Spoke to his manager, explained that the Easy Fundraising could actually mean donations to a good cause for them. And his manager said, yeah, absolutely. So all he did was put the donation reminder onto the computer he uses, and every time he buys something for his work for halls of residence, he's able to get a donation for the good cause that they've decided to support. Doesn't change anything, doesn't change the cost, doesn't change the being able to claim it or any of those things. It's all as it would be normally, but they've just got this added extra. So maybe even you buy things for the church that you're buying, and you think, actually, we could probably be getting donations from Easy Fundraising. Perhaps somebody needs a new laptop, anything like that. Make sure that you think, oh, you know, that's a big purchase. What could we get as well as that big purchase at the same time? So it's worth having a think about.
So there are churches, Roisin, that are doing things like Messy Church or Sunday schools and things like that.
Yes.
Then buying things like stationery items to run those events and activities and raise money at the same time is something that they could do quite easily from volunteers or from clergy.
Oh, that's an excellent example, actually. Yes, because those sort of things, you know, you're gonna go online. There's retailers like Baker Ross, like Etsy, like Wilko. I was sometimes responsible for buying some of the arts and crafts for our brownies and rainbows, and so you are looking for ideas and things. You're buying them anyway. That's an absolutely super example. So yes, even groups within the church that are buying things. Yeah, it's just about letting people know. I think as soon as people realise that this activity that they do anyway has this potential to do a little bit of good as well, they're more than willing to do it. once they understand and they know, I think that's the key, is just sharing information, keep letting people know, let people know that it is ongoing for you, so that this, because what I'm talking about there with those larger donations is that sort of long-term plan. So this is, yes, there's going to be loads of donations raised in the next couple of weeks because of Christmas, Black Friday. We've got lots going on the site. There's lots of exciting things to bring people back to the site. But then next year, your insurances, your holidays, your normal grocery shopping each week, your clothes, school shoes for the children, and all of the bits in between. You know, your washing machine's gone, or oh, it's a bit of a negative one, isn't it? Hopefully your washing machine won't go. Maybe you're just gonna have a nice new shiny washing machine because you want one.
It might be for me, because ours needs repairing at the minute, so we might need to do once.
Oh dear. Oh, I hope I haven't jinxed that. Next time we do a session, we'll be saying, and Paul had to buy a new washing machine and he used Easy Fundraising. But you know, the point is that it is a constant fundraiser for you. It can be bringing in revenue for you 12 months of the year. You're going to see a peak at this time of year because more people will be shopping online, but it is ongoing. It is a part of life now. And so to have this already in your fundraising strategy, you are able to just access these funds all the time. You just need to talk about it every couple of weeks, every week if you can. Remind people it's important. Say thank you, tell them, you know, thanks so much. Use the activity feed in the app if you've got it. Let people know that it's working. And then, yeah, the funds will come in for you. So have we got any questions before we finish off? I don't think so. Paul, have you got anything that I've missed?
No, I don't think so. I think, you know, just to add add to Roisin's stuff, you know, I've got on my second screen, because I'm sat at my work computer at home, I can see, yeah, some of my donations are quite small. Like, you know, the last 4 donations of eBay, and it's pennies. But then, you know, I bought some gardening stuff, £2.07, and train tickets to go to a wedding. You know, and then, you know, the pets at home example I've already mentioned, but like Roisin, I have a new car insurance, £17.50. You know, it's, you know, a lot of the stuff will be relatively small beer, because you're just doing your ordinary bits of shopping that you would do anyway. But it's those bigger items that, when they come around, where you get the bigger reward, and you get more people doing it, the bigger reward that your church will get. Yeah,
couldn't agree more. It's quite a communal fundraiser in that way, because you can motivate each other, and like I say, it can become quite addictive. I've certainly spoken to causes before where there's a little bit of a competitive nature sometimes, dependent on the sort of cause it is, and that can be a lot of fun. And you can even, you know, you can incentivize people yourself if you wanted to. You can say, well, you know, our top raiser over Christmas, we've got a bottle of wine waiting for you, or, you know, there's lots you could do if you wanted to. But it comes down to time, it comes down to opportunity, and so that's why our sort of fundraising toolkit is designed to be really easy to just access quickly, use, share. We don't want to be adding another job to people's already busy to do this. That's the last thing the world Easy Fundraising want to be doing. We want to make it nice and easy for you. So yeah,
and probably not for now to go into great detail about, but it's important that, you know, a lot of churches go into a great deal of trouble to thank people for their donations. And one of the great things in Easy Fundraising is you can set up some automated messages, so that as and when people are raising money for you or registering to raise money for you, they can get a message from you saying thank you very much. And I think that's vitally important that we mention that. And I know we've done that in other webinar sessions where we've focused on that particular element. So, you know, that's something you can ask your fundraising coach when you're speaking to them about how you go about setting that up. Because that's a tremendous thing that you can do, and it helps to save time, but thanks people for the support that they're giving you.
It does, because in the past our challenge, of course, is that we have to keep our supporters' data secure. Of course we do, and so we don't share email addresses or a lot of information. So as a supporter on Easy Fundraising, you'll see your first name, the initial of your surname, and that's all, unless you've chosen to be completely anonymous, which you can do within your settings, and then it will just show as anonymous. So of course, but the challenge that presents then is that it doesn't allow our course admins, the people who are, who want to shout out and say, gosh, thanks very much, this is amazing. It means that they can't actually talk to their supporters like that. So to combat that, yes, 100% check out our supporter comms area. It's on the site, and you can, those messages are, they'll go out automatically. You can tailor them to exactly what it is you want to say, which is lovely. So it can be totally in your tone, totally in your voice. It can be signed off by you personally, which is so nice. And it's a really nice feature. So there's a lot there. There's a lot to sort of look through, and make the most out of. And my advice would be to pick the bit that works for you, use that. The key is to speak to people to choose the tools that you can use to speak to people where you naturally speak to them, where you'll find them. So whether that's a newsletter, whether it's the handout cards on the pews, whether it's a voiceover in the service, and posters, whatever works for you. If you've got a Facebook group, we know that's a smashing way. Pick that tool, use that. Share something as often as you can. There should be something, so you don't always share the same thing, so it's boring. It should be a different message for you. Thank people. We'd say give it a go. Let people know that Christmas shopping can make a massive difference this year. It can really mean more, literally. It can mean so much more to our churches. And know that you're in good company. There's loads of Manchester churches using it. There's loads of churches across the UK using it. Got great reviews. Check us out on Trustpilot if you want to see what others think of Easy Fundraising. And just give it a go. It really is. It really is. You've everything to gain and nothing to lose. There are our contact details. So that's me and Paul. I've popped you on there. Have I got your email address correct there, Paul?
It is. Yes, well done.
Gosh, do you know, sometimes it doesn't look right. But we are here to help, absolutely. So anything that you need, do feel free to contact us, and if we can't help you, we'll find somebody who can. So whether you're new to Easy Fundraising or you've been using it for a long time, don't hesitate to get in touch. The QR code is if you're not registered and you want to sign up, so that'll take you straight to our Diocese of Manchester's landing page. So you can scan that if you've not already joined Easy Fundraising, and that will take you there. And I think that probably brings us nicely to the end. We are just shy of an hour there. Paul, have you got anything else that you want to add?
No, I think we've given it a good sell. I think the key thing, as I've just shared some messages today, just to highlight the amount of money that's been raised by churches already, and we're about £48,000 I think so far. £20,000 of that is from online shopping, about 28,000 from direct online donations. So it just shows you that it works, and we can see by that table of the lead players. I've got about two and a half pages of A4 paper in a table form of churches that have raised more than £100. So it just shows you that, even for those ones that have perhaps found it just recently joined, or are starting to make their way through, they're already starting to raise money.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's what would you do with £100? I mean, that's marvelous. You could do a lot of good with £100. There's a lot you can pick up for £100. So it doesn't have to be thousands and thousands, does it? It could, to be valuable to you, it doesn't have to be that much money. But the more people you've got doing it, the more chance that you'll raise. And you can make it work for you, and you may as well have it as somebody else. It may as well be going to our churches. That's what I always say. Well, in that case, we will say good evening. Thank you so much for your time. Paul, thank you again for
No problems.
allowing us to speak to your churches. We'll share this information session out. It will no doubt be on the YouTube channel, but we'll also email it out, and I'll add it onto the landing page as well. And yeah, don't hesitate to get in touch. We really look forward to helping you with your fundraising over these next few months and many, many years to come. So thanks very much, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Take care. I'm going to end the session now. Take care, everybody.
Bye.